Alright, so I showed y'all this when it first came out. Hold on, let me turn this down in the back. Alright, so now what we're gonna do is this though. My partner, he wanted to know the bad deal part. Let's go down here and read the artifact so y'all can understand what I was doing. What I was testing was if you just ran the artifact as is, right? Now this is one of them artifacts you gotta chase the stacks, the soul stacks and stuff like that. The more soul stacks you get, the better it is. Okay? Now, this devil's deal. That's what we're looking at. Not bad deal. I said bad deal. I'm talking about devil's deal, okay? So the devil's deal is if you just use it without it being stacked up, right? I'm gonna show you how it looks, what comes over your head. Boom. You'll get this little contract above your head with the little demon that pops up, right? Now that in particular is similar to the soul stack. Let's read it again. Let's get this right. Let's go on and read it. All right. The demonic pact critical ability hits grants you a stack. It grants you a soul stack to a maximum of 20 stacks, right? And what that does is that's going to get you it's going to give you a chance of activating bad deal. And that's going to give you them crits, okay? And the crits is explained right here. It says, Devil's Deal and 15% increases critical ability attack chance. So that's the Devil's Deal. So this is just regular once you get the soul, right? Once you get the 20 soul stacks, you get this. You get more of you get an opportunity to get that 15% in critical attack ability and critical attack chance. So, well, now I showed y'all yesterday how you could just run it. We're gonna look at the combat log too. Now I'm not telling you to run your. This is what I'm just showing you. Nature is gonna stack it up quick because you see that it's already there because you got a lot of dots going. So the crits is gonna be popping up regularly, right? You see I got that contract as well. See, before it's even our cooldown, it's already ready. All right. You see that contract popped up. Now the homie didn't see the regular one without the one you get with the devil head is the one that just pops up when it's not sold and soul stacks aren't procced. Now let's see what the reasoning is behind that. Let me show you. All right, so when you first start off, you see this is like 5 million. Let's get up out of here. 5 million, 8 million, 5 million, right? I'm gonna show y'all some more. There's 5 million, 8 million, 6 million, 7 million. That's where I stopped at. But we're gonna do it. I'm gonna show you a parse when I just started with that. Hold up. First, let me get this Devil's Deal to proc. And what does it mean? All right, so I'm not gonna hit no more. I don't want to. Damn, it's stacking up already. All right, so that's the Devil's Deal. You know, the Devil's Deal. So you automatically get the contract once it starts. Now, if you do it without none, it already done critted already though. With just that one hit, it's already back blue. So it's probably like 3 or 4 hits. And I say that to say this. All right, there we go. It's no hits. You see the demon head. Now, what does that do? It's not something you have to chase. So you just have to do it. You feel me? Once it's just like you're chasing it with the dots. If you don't have a loadout that have dots, let's say you fire. You put on the damage over time. You put on the floor stuff, the inferno. You'll put on, things that are hit, and then you use the fireball to constantly keep them up. So you put on your AoEs. This is the type of artifact you're going to have to run on ass and put up the AoE and constantly hit. Now with nature, like I said, nature is going to be probably the best. It's like the best to use any of these little, just because you got these dots going. So any type of artifact that you got to stack up, nature is gonna be one of the best ones. And we just gonna run this like 10 parsers straight though. And as you can see, very little effort is put forth. The stacks are already up, and the power hasn't even cooled down. So what I was telling you the other day when I showed y'all this was, you could start it off without no hits, and that's gonna give you the first part of it, the 100% of the devil's deal. All right. You see how it's just perfect with the ball? It's gonna be the same thing with anything you use, but it has a cooldown of 12 seconds, so just know that. And you can see the numbers are pretty much gonna be the same. And that now, if you got higher gear, you're gonna see better numbers. I'm just showing you the consistency of the numbers and where they kind of line up at. Because it has a 12-second cooldown, some parsers are gonna be a little bit more because this is a 10-second parse, as opposed to like a 30-second parse. All right. Now, what I was showing y'all the other day, without showing y'all other combinations of this artifact, was how it stands on its own compared to other artifacts. So remember, I showed y'all the totality. E-bond is gonna be, the E-bond is probably better if you swap. If you're an advanced player and you are swapping, the E-bond is gonna be, they line up together. Most players aren't gonna be swapping unless you see, you get into certain groups, you'll see that. R swapping is a meta in this game. Like I told you, if you're gonna swap, use the Lamort card. All right. Outside of that, if you don't, this will, line up favorably with the E-bond. The E-bond gonna give you good numbers as well. I showed y'all that the other day, but it don't line up favorably with the totality, the Omega totality. This is probably the single best artifact in the game. As far as like the damage it does, this right here is probably the single best artifact in the game for the Omega totality. And with nature, you can get it in there seamlessly. All right, so now I'm gonna have the nature loadout, and this is a nature loadout. This is for ads right here. This loadout you see right here. The only difference is that where that I showed you, you would put this in, put your gorilla in, and you use the gorilla like venom. Okay, so if your dots fall off when you get to the gorilla side, you're gonna have the harvest on the gorilla side. I showed y'all that. That's with this. All right, so this is how wait, hold up, that's wrong. Let me switch that on my heat vision. You ain't gonna even, pretty much need the heat vision. You could actually run with the Omega. You could actually run 2 finishers if you wanted to on the gorilla form. You don't have to use the heat vision, but the gorilla side is gonna be mainly for like when you get to a single target. You got your dots on them and you got the big hits with the heat vision, the Omega totality or whatnot. The Candle of Neron is definitely a high level artifact. It's just not, if I was telling you advice, right? Now, because you could run it like this. You can run it like this. The goal here with the new artifact system and how it's done, right? The goal here is to, where's the E-bond? The goal here is to be able to mix and match and do, because you can get big numbers like this as well. All right, so like if you got the E-bond and the candles in there with the power, You can get the 14 million I was putting up. You feel me? And if you swapping, you definitely can keep it up there. 11. You know what I'm saying? Now, most people are probably going to run this without the candle, put the transformation right there. That's the new meta on ads and stuff like that. You feel me? But you can run it just like this and put up the same numbers. And that's the idea of these artifacts, is to switch it up. See, I ain't even got my stuff in. Switch it up, and you don't have to have the same exact artifacts that everybody else have. You don't have to do that no more. Now, you could be competitive, but you might not. It's still a meta. You know what I'm saying? You're still gonna have to pretty much fall in line when it comes to single target and stuff like that. Depending on how long, it's easy to get a lot of damage on sparring targets because they do not die. Your dots stay on, everything stays going. In a hallway, if you was to run up and put these dots on them, before you even put them on there, they dead. You know what I'm saying? So you have to learn how to have certain loadouts for certain type of raids or alerts that you're running. But you could definitely run these 3 artifacts. All right? You could definitely run them. Especially if you do it. Let me show you. Especially if you do this. All right, let's do this. I'm going to show y'all the numbers you can get on this. And some people might say, you ain't going to get no numbers like that. I'm going to show you can. The one thing you have to learn about this game is people ain't going to really tell you. If you don't know it, they ain't going to tell you nothing. They hide every little secret thing they get, so they could beat you. It's not really a helpful game like that. But it's people like me that will show you certain metas of the game. I'm going to start showing all the loadouts of all the powers. So just be on the lookout for that. It's coming soon. I'm going to do the prex. I'm going to do the mics. The powers that I use first. And then we'll go into, I do the tanking and all that as well. Healing. You know what I'm saying? And we'll touch it all. We're going to start off with the powers that I use. But I'm going to show y'all how this operates, all right? So let's go. We on the combat. Remember the other day I put up like 14 with the totality, 14, 13, 15. You can get them numbers with this. Now let's see. Let me show y'all. Let me show you. Damn, what? I ain't even got no, what's the name there? Oh, headpiece or nothing. Let me see. So you put that 15% headpiece with the yellow ones, but you got to wait until you get the, buy a 5-pack and you won't have to worry about it at all. You could just throw them in there at the purple, at the next one, whatever ones you get, and you replace it, just put another one in. They give them to you in packs of 5, so that's a good thing. Max damage. Where is the gorilla? Oh, right there. All right, let's do this. I'm just gonna build up. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put the dots on and go straight over there. All right. You got to use the power sometime to proc them. That's one of the things on totality and the candle of Neron. You have to use the power to proc them sometimes, all right, before they even start building up. But I'm just here to show you the numbers. So let's do it to see if this is a viable lineup. All right, I hit that one too many times at harvest. I don't never like to let my harvest down, so you'll see me pop that thing. I'm supposed to go right back to the ball. I'm a little bit undisciplined right now. This one to jump up. See that 13? You just gotta hit them things when they ready. As soon as they ready, hit them. And you're gonna get the most damage you can. And they ready when they red. See, but as you can see, like I ain't got the transformation nothing in. Or the strat that also gives you good damage on dots. You see what it's doing. You see them numbers. You see them numbers. I'm saying, I showed y'all this to show you one thing. You don't have to listen to everybody. You can put up some numbers. You feel me? Now, these numbers would be great if I was really geared up, which I will be. And I'll show you all that. But this is what you're looking for, man. Consistency. You see that 15 million. Stop it. $15, $14. It just don't stop, bro. Listen, you could put up them big ass numbers. And that's just with, if I was geared up, them would be 20 million something. Now I just wanted to show y'all that. You see them? So let's go on and look at it. Bro, you see the numbers. It started off 14, 8, 9, 6, 13, 10, 9, 12, 13, 11, 6, 15, 14, 5, 13, 10, 10, 10. It's your numbers are gonna max. You could do numbers with or without the transformation cord. Now, is it gonna be better, more consistent? I don't know. I think that, this actually does what the transformation card does. The reason you see these numbers are good like this is because one thing about the transformation card is it actually takes away, 15% of your total damage. So that's 15%. Now you're getting the crits, and these are critical chances. And you know what I'm saying? The magnitude, it goes, your crits can hit higher, 30% more higher, and you have a 20% more chance to hit a crit. And to be honest, they actually work quite regularly. You don't have, what I'm saying? They always procking, so it's not like this is one of the best artifacts in the game, the transformation card. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's been meta for years. It's like you can take everything else off, but you take this off, you ain't gonna have no problems. I mean, you're gonna have problems. But I'm showing you, okay, like I just showed you, if you use them three, the numbers are better. But that's once you get to the gorilla side. All right, because you got your dots up and everything. You feel me? Now let's see how favorably it matches up. You seen, I did them individually yesterday. I mean, the other day. Where if you just have the transformation strat in the Ebon, the transformation strat in the total Omega, or the transformation strat in the Candle of Neron. The Candle of Neron and Ebon are similar as far as damage. The Omega is going to put you over the top. The Omega going to get them numbers I just showed you quite often. You feel me? That's just what it is. And we can, and how do we prove that? I'm going to show you. Now, I just showed y'all that one. That was 15, right? Once we get it. Ebon, like, if you're doing, if you swap and keep the Ebon on, you feel me? You just take the strat off. You feel me? Or even if you want to run it like I just showed you. If you swapping like that, you about to kill him. You about to kill him. Period, point blank. You could swap with the transformation cord. I mean, you can. You literally can. All right. But I knew that this what the candle of Neron was gonna do. It's gonna take away. I mean, you can definitely replace the strat. I mean, the transformation cord, because this is what it's giving you. What 15% increase on the critical attack and the critical attack chance and the ability. So it's similar without taking away 20% of your overall damage. You feel me? Now that's the devil's deal. The soul stack is another one. That's another 15. Now it only has a 5% chance once you get up to a certain, you know. So, it at best you're gonna have both of them. All right. So 15, 30%, that's what it's gonna be at best. But it's designed to where you only get that ever so often, because the higher you got the actual artifact up, the less of a chance you'll get on actually having, you feel me? The 15 and 15. But it's designed to always have you with the 15. So it's like the transformation. The transformation give you a little bit more, give you 20 and then 20 on magnet, 30 on magnitude. You feel me? But it takes away 15% of your overall damage. You feel me? But it's like reading this artifact, it ain't no way that you're gonna read it and be able to understand the potency of it. All right, but we're gonna get right into it though. All right, dots, harvest, gorilla, harvest. Oh shit, I'm tripping. Hold up. That's gonna fuck off my here. That's gonna mess up my little what's the name. Let me go back over here. I'll just put the heat vision right there. Put the total omega right here. But I ain't got no supercharge, so let me just build up a supercharge real quick. You see that the heat vision? The heat vision still do big damage. The heat vision with the solar is off the hook, and then it burns. So you see them dots, they're gonna continue to burn. You're gonna have dots from the heat vision as well. All right, that's one of the reasons that we use it, because with nature, I mean, it's just a lot of dots. You critting all the time. All right, let me see if the gorilla built up. All right, let's get them dots on. Let's go. Gorilla form, boom. See, the omega ain't even proccing right now. I mean, it's not even building up. You see, when you use the omega without it being built up, look how long it takes you. It takes a long time, but we're gonna build it up right now. So don't worry about that 6. We're going after that. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Remember this, you don't even have to use the heat vision. The heat vision is mainly for single target. If you had a lot of ads and the boss, that's what it's for. So you can hit that boss constantly. And as you can see, the numbers go up. You seen that 15 million. You just got to get clean with your rotation. That's one of the main thing about DPS, and I'm gonna do a DPS guide as well. With the DPS, and you got to maintain your cleanness. All right. If you ain't clean, you're gonna mess up a lot of damage. That's one of the main things about DPS, and is staying clean with your rotation. What I mean by that is not fumbling, accidentally pushing one power when you shouldn't have. Now that harvest is what keeps your dots going. You'll never have to reapply them as long as you keep them harvests up. That's hard for a lot of players once you're getting involved in those raids. You're getting hit, knocked out of stuff and all that. I'll show y'all a trick for that as well. See, it's the same thing. You still gonna take them dips because it doesn't line up with the 10-second. So every other parse, you're gonna have a little weird looking parse. But as you can see, let's go. Now that would have been more if I'd have kept going, but let's go. Now as you can see, we start off at that 6. Where that 6 at? Okay. So you see the 13, 11 go up here to the middle. 13, 11, then we dropped to 5. We went to that 15, 7, 11, 12, 13, 5.6, 12, 14, 5, 10, 12. That 12 would have actually been like 14 if I had kept going. But this is similar to up here when I was showing y'all the artifacts, all of them together. When you're doing them all together, remember when I showed you that? You still getting them big numbers. Even though that gave you a 15, you're getting a 15 down here. Now, like I said, if you geared up, them 15s is 20s. And that's just crazy. 20 million on a 10-second parse, bro, with just your powers. So, needless to say, if you want to have fun and put a burn on ads, bro, throw in that E-bond, especially if you advance. I'm just showing y'all different ways to think because for years, our meta has been strat, trans, and whatever. So this is going to give you a funner way to play, man. Put that candle on. That's going to act as your trans. You feel me? But you got to put that E-bond at the bottom. All right, put that E-bond at the bottom. Ain't no ifs and buts about that. And it's easy to, to squeeze up. You come there, boop. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, but you would hit the what's the name, you right back out. You just got to do it. It's easy. It ain't hard. Get used to it. Don't overcomplicate it when you're doing everything. Some people, be up in there doing everything. That, But now you don't need to do that. You can literally run your lineup just like this if you want to. I'm not saying this is going to put out the most damage every single run. But this is gonna be similar to anything else you could put on. You could deal as much damage. It's not gonna line up favorably, but it may be equal to. You know what I'm saying? So that's another one. Now with the 15, I'm gonna show y'all the DPS and man metas, how we used to run and how you could do stuff. I'm gonna show y'all a lot of with this nature, man. All right. So I just wanted to get that out the way. Show y'all what's going on with because my boy wanted to see the bad deal. He wanted to know. Because when you just throw it off the back, it procs that with the skull. And he was like, bro, I seen somebody proc it every time and they had that. And that's cool, but it's not doing nothing that you're doing when you're building it up. You know what I'm saying? When you're building it up, you have a chance to get all of it. So you can hit it whenever you want to. But the 20 stacks is going to get you higher and higher. That's when it does its best damage. As long as you got dots going, you can do everything. You know what I'm saying? And you see that's E-bond. That purple scroll is the E-bond. Many of you know it. That green dot is my poison ivy. Procking. That's another E-bond worth of damage. So like when you running this nature, I'll teach you, I got loadouts up, but I'll give you an updated version of it. You know what I'm saying? How I would run it right now. So, this is one of the best powers out there. It's just certain boards are not, every power is good. Some powers are better than others depending on what raid you're running. All right, if the ads are dying quick, you can't be using dots. You have to, like, you know, do a little melee with the whirling dervish. That's the old school meta. You know, when you're doing melees and stuff like that, even, you know, not just this one, not how this one is lined up, but Savage Growth is your go-to on this. This is your dot. Serpent Call is also a recharge generator. A generator, supercharge, you know, it gives your supercharge more when you use it. So it's a supercharged generator. And you know, Whirling Dervish is automatic. You gotta use that. Ain't no, you know, ain't no ifs and buts about that. Now, what can you do to make that Whirling Dervish and Vortex better? You use this dashing combos. All right, and I'm gonna show you what that does. I give you an AoE. Most people know this, but in case you don't, it makes sure you can clip it out. Press square, you can stop you can stop the Whirling Dervish. Boom, and it hits with an AoE. You see that? I'll show it to you over here as well. Watch. You know, this the Whirling Dervish how it normally goes. That's it on a regular. Now, when you do it, see that? You can stop it, clipping it out. Basically, you can clip and do a big AoE damage real quick just to get to your Savage Growth. You see how much that hit for? It's gonna hit. It's constantly hitting for 300, 400. It's gonna be more than that even when I get the gear up. Feel me? It hits for low sometimes. That's a single 400. You see that 400,000? That's $500,000, homie. You hear me? So when your Savage Growth is up, let me get back out there. That's how you do it. And Vortex the same way. You just press square, and at the end of Vortex, it don't clip Vortex, but at the end of it, it'll still do it. You see that? Boom. That's the AoE. Press square, boop, bam. Clip it out. All right, so that's how you use Whirling Dervish on AoEs and stuff. All right, just you put that dashing combo in, bam. AoE to everybody. You got to keep, if you're using nature, you got to have Savage Growth. That's going to be your main. These two. You see what I'm saying? So you get an AoE blast at the end with that dashing combo, and you proc it by hitting square. All right, clip it, boop, and it's going to hit. And this one, just press it, and as soon as it stops, it'll do it. You can't stop it unless you jump out. That's the only way you can stop Vortex. You got to press X to jump. All right, that's how you stop Vortex. For like when you precking and stuff. Everybody know that. That's how you do the dashing combo though. You just press square and it'll do it right after it's done. And that little jump forward with the knee, that's the combo. That's the dashing combo. Or else you'll just be waiting and you won't get nothing at the end. So if you're using Vortex, you got to use dashing combo. Whirling Dervish do good damage, so it don't matter if you just holding it there forever or what. You feel me? Remember, when you DPSing, homie, your main thing about DPSing is getting out the quickest damage as possible. All right, especially on ads. If you got the type of damage that, like, if you got a something to stay alive and you could do the most damage, that's gonna be like a boss. That's when you use like finishers and stuff like that on them. Or when you get to the crowd, if you got your totality built up, you feel me? If you got a totality built up or a candle built up, you just boom, you use it. You know what I'm saying? You can use the candle regardless. The totality, you don't want to use that until it's filled all the way up. Because if not, it's going to give you a long, drawn-out animation that's like twice as long. And that's stopping your... Now, you could jump up out of it, but that's going to jeopardize your damage, the integrity of your damage. So if you decide to run them all three, the E-Bond, the candle, and the total, Like advanced players will definitely be able to make that into something. You feel me? Like, because in order to use the candle, you got to readjust how you play in a totality as well. On ads, you have to readjust how you play because there's no meta that's really out there like how nature is, where you set the dots and then you can still do your damage. It's a few powers you could do that on because every power's got the AoEs that you could throw out there. Boom, boom. You know, if you electricity, you put the stuff to go on the floor, electrocute or whatever it's called. You got the Tesla ball. You could do all that while you throwing that little electric ball. Gadgets is gonna be mainly just you throwing that with the Gauss grenade or whatever. It's, you know, every power got that throw. That one thing you could just throw over and over. Some of that throw or higher damage on different powers. So just because it throws don't mean it's gonna do the same damage as a nature throw. The ferocious plant ain't gonna be the same as the fireball. The ice ball ain't gonna be the same as the Gauss grenade or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna equal out. But that's what you're gonna be doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're gonna do. That's what you're gonna do. And that's how you're gonna use these artifacts, bro. You know, it's switching up the meta, man. You don't have to be that strat trans, because I'm telling you, before they had wolf packs, that if you get in any DPS that's a top DPS or any top DPS, they would, if they had 6 characters, they had strat and trans. They had these two on every character if they DPSing with them. Because without this, you ain't gonna match up. You feel me? But now I'm showing you. I just showed you the numbers with the candle, the E-bond, and the totality. Now, why are the numbers? Why are they favored? Why are they high like that? Because I told you, the transformation. You know, now these two work in unison. This is really one artifact. The transformation in the strategist card. That's one artifact. You hear me? You feel what I'm saying? But you could use this with the totality. You could use them two with the candle and even have higher crits. You feel what I'm saying? I showed you that too. I'm not saying that it's changed the meta. I'm just saying to give you an option. You could still you'll be able to compete, and if you're a top DPS, you could really compete because you're gonna be, you know, swapping that E-bond, or you're gonna be doing what you do. You know, maneuvering how you maneuver, how you know how. And like I said, once you get clean, your numbers, they skyrocket. Once you get clean and stop fumbling around and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying, fumbling, bumbling, all in your order, you come in the inventory, nigga, you all up in the loadout tree, and you like that type stuff, you got to clean up. You know what I'm saying? You just got to clean it up, and that take repetition. Get over here and go through it over and over and over and over again, right here on these spawn targets or up in your league hall or whatever. This is how you put in that work, homie. That's like going in the gym shooting hoops. Come over here all day, homie. Get that thing clean. Get your rotation clean how you want it and never let go, man. And that's the only way you're going to be able to do this. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to do this. And so like I said, and summarizing the Candle of Neron artifact, I think it's viable. I think it's worth the while. And I think it's even worth the while more. I'm curious to see, because these three in rotation together. I'm curious to see this. Candle, E-bond, and the Omega totality. These are like these are the three best might artifacts. I mean, transformation and strat is gonna always be. Cause you see what I did, when you can still put up them numbers with just the transformation strat and either one of them artifacts. You can still put up them numbers. But you do it consistently when you take the strat and the trans off, because it's giving you something else to work with. You feel what I'm saying? And the reason that I tell you these two artifacts are basically one is because this one gives you increased criticals, and this one is procced off of criticals. All right, and it give you double the damage once you get it up. You know what I'm saying? 30% more, double the proc chance of tactical advantage, then the increased tactical advantage. You know, once you get it to 200, the strategist card ain't even worth using unless you got it at 200. Like you could put in anything, you know what I'm saying, and it'll be just as good. Unless you got it at 200. Once you get it at 200 and match it with the transformation, you good. Transformation is more than viable at 160, 200. You can even have it at 120. If you have it at 120, you can replace it with something if you got something else at 200. But it's just as good. I mean, it only gives you more damage a little. It only takes a little more damage from you. So you know that's all. Instead of 15%, it's gonna be 17% if you got it at 160. At 120, it's gonna be like 19%. You feel me? So it'll give you 4% increased damage overall once you get it up there. But shout out to DC, man. DC is really stepping up, homie. I really like what they doing with the game. This is my favorite game that I've ever. You know, this is that game, homie. This that one for me. You know, DC is this is the shit. It ain't no. You ain't gonna find nothing better. You ain't gonna find nothing better than DC. I mean, you might. I just been playing so long that it's just really good. When it had PvP, oh man, this was, and you couldn't find nothing better when you could like PvP. And now because of the speed hackers, they kind of messed it up. People don't even play it no more. It's so many different little glitches and stuff, you know. So it's kind of hard to even really get involved in it. But I got some ideas for it, and that's gonna be another live I do. I'm gonna put that out there into the universe. Maybe the DC people will hear it, and if they hear it, maybe they'll actually take me up on that. You know what I'm saying? But in closing, I want to tell you that running these three artifacts right here, especially at 200, I don't know what, you know, like if they lower what they might do, but at 200, them three right there is gonna do. You ain't gonna be if they ain't at 200. The transformation and the strat gonna be better. I know that for sure. In either one of them that you use, but if they are, boy, trust me, this is gonna be this gonna be your bread and butter on nature. You know, you might not be able to do it on certain powers, and we'll get around to that. Like I said, I'm gonna do power breakdowns. I've had success with several powers on this game, and that's what we're gonna do, man. We're gonna break it down, man. All right. I love DC. I want to see the new players get better. You know, and many people ain't gonna help y'all get better, man. I'm telling you that right now. They'll tell you they'll give you crap loadouts just to hey yeah put this loadout just to do it, just to have you not competing. Trust me. Especially if you got all your stuff. You the type of player that you like, look, man, I want to put some money into the game, but I can't invest it because I really don't know what I'm doing yet. Then this is gonna be the channel you need to step to. You feel me? Because I'm gonna show you how to use what you need to use. I can show you anything you need on this game. Hit me up on the end game if you need advice or help with something. You don't understand how something operates, whatever. How to do something in the game. What's the best way to do something? Hit me up once you catch me in this game, and I'll respond, homie. You know what I'm saying? I'll get you right. Try my best to. You feel me? All right, man. Listen. Shout out to all my peoples. Make sure y'all hit that like, homie. We trying to get right now, man. I'm doing this for real now, okay? So no more just watching and not hitting that like. Hit that Lee's Ike. You hear what I'm saying? Do that for your boy. Hey, I'ma holler at y'all. Y'all stay up. Oh damn, I started a recording, nigga. What the something wrong with me. All right, y'all stay up, man.